what is wrong with strong women?
Yeah, literally.
We love strong women. She lift whole
She
car.
survives the blizzards.
She can lift submarine off of dead child. She will crush Nazi head between thighs. We love strong women.
Yeah, Nazis are pretty f***ing gay.
Yeah.
Lady in the Trans podcast. Where we believe in science. We don't believe in God. Only science. Science will solve all the problems. That's the trans agenda.
Trans people in science gonna save the day.
Solve the problems with us. With science. Science, bitch.
To my trans agenda, I'm returning trans.
Hello and welcome
Hello.
to part 2 in our exploration of the history of women in sports. We are going to be covering a lot of interesting stuff today.
Yes, we are.
If you haven't listened to part 1, go ahead and do that. If you want a really quick recap, women have always been in sports. White people didn't like that, especially with indigenous cultures. And they have been doing their best to prevent anyone from participating in sports ever again.
Yes.
Now we'll move forward with the rest of the episode.
Yay.
I guess we'll just dive right in, yeah?
Yeah, let's do it.
Where the fuck was I? Victorian era, we've had 2,000 years of patriarchy, selectively breeding unathletic women. The ideal body type was frail, pale, and delicate. Literally any muscle at all was seen as too masculine. So this is basically what society is looking like when the Olympics are to come back. There's a man who decides that he wants the Olympics to come back. In 1894, it is a French aristocrat named Baron Pierre de Coubertin.
What are these names? De Coubertin.
De Coubertin.
Okay.
Pierre de Coubertin founded the International Olympics Committee, the IOC, in 1894.
Okay.
This is the committee that still exists and manages the Olympics today.
Okay.
This is a pasty white dude from France.
Of course.
In the late 1800s. He's going around with his other educated white elite friends, and he's like, should we bring back the Olympics? I think we should bring back the Olympics. He had a bunch of other ideas that didn't succeed, but this is the one that like finally started to catch on. So they decide that they're going to have the first Olympic Games in over 1,500 years in 1896.
Okay.
At this point, the Olympics they're not going around the world and being like, hey, everyone, we're doing the Olympics. They're basically just spreading the news in like their European upper crust universities and amongst their friends. So like the first Olympics are pretty small.
Okay.
Women were banned from participating at all. They were like, we're going to do it like the old Olympics when there were no women allowed. So no women allowed now either.
Yeah.
He had said at the time, women competing in the Olympics would be impractical, uninteresting, ungamely, and I do not hesitate to add, improper.
Fuck proper.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking lame.
These Olympics were not successful. They were very small in terms of athletes, a very small turnout in terms of people watching.
Yeah.
So the next Olympics they do in 1900, they decide they're going to add some women's events, specifically tennis, golf, sailing, croquet, and equestrianism.
Yeah, shit that isn't as physical.
Yes, shit that's
They don't want these bitches getting fit and leaving their abusive husband.
sports where women are not going to get sweaty and gross.
Also, it sounds like, were there any team sports? Were any of, I don't remember everything you listed.
No.
Yeah, they don't want women teaming up. They don't.
No,
because
they
it builds
don't.
camaraderie, and then we get, that's why patriarchy is currently falling before our eyes, because women started being cool with each other. We started building communities with each other, and we started talking and being like, hey, you should leave your husband that's beating you. Hey, don't have a kid with this guy. He doesn't care about you.
Yep.
Like,
Started setting up apps
that makes
to,
their
like,
little
warn-
power play fall apart.
Yes, it does.
Isolating is a powerful tool in warfare.
Then they gave us the internet and we could talk to each other and look at us now.
Yep. That's what they get.
That is what they get. This was actually against the wishes of the IOC, the International Olympics Committee. They did not want the women's events added.
Of course not.
But it was the organizers, the World's Fair organizers, because it was just like an event at the World's Fair, was like, oh yeah, then the Olympics. It wasn't like its own special event. So the first Olympics that they held were in Athens. The first one, 1896, is in Athens. The one in 1900 is in France.
Okay.
And the French World's Fair organizers are like, the women are asking if they can do some stuff. We're just going to add it. We're just going to add some women's events and y'all can suck it,
so
suck it
they'll
up.
stop nagging or whatever is probably.
Probably.
It's funny how women will stop nagging when you stop oppressing us, but you know.
Yeah. So at this Olympics, there were a grand total of 22 women competing across all of those 4 events.
Yeah.
A total of 22.
Most of their husbands probably wouldn't have let them. That's why.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's like basically no women.
I bet every single one of those girls had a gay husband and was his beard, you know? Like,
Yeah. But because this was not an official Olympics approved event, there were no medals to give out. Mm-hmm. So the winners didn't get medals. Margaret Abbott, who won the golf tournament, was gifted a porcelain bowl.
Oh, God.
Instead of a gold medal.
I would have cracked that over the guy's head that handed me
literally
that.
like, here, we found you a toilet. Like, sorry.
Yeah, I would have been like, here, bitch.
So for a long time after this, many female athletes are lobbying for participation in athletic events, but a lot of the credit is given to a woman from France named Alice Milliat.
France has such a history of like really saying, nah, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
We need to take notes here in the U.S., but
France is like the land of revolution.
Yeah, that's like
they're constantly having
they're
revolutions.
They're always
Every 4 years they set the whole country on fire.
Yeah, what is up with the French dude? I wonder why that is. Is it just because that's historically how they've been? Or?
Yeah, it's worked for them before.
Yeah.
And so they remember that it worked, and so they do it again.
Yeah.
We don't have a history of doing that here.
Yeah, we also have a huge country. It is hard to organize an entire giant country like the U.S. We're a really big country.
Yes. So this Alice Milliat woman from France started several women's sports organizations, women's athletics organizations, and eventually started getting more and more events added to the Olympics.
Yeah.
Cut to 1928. This is a story I also told in the Trans Women in Sports episode. In 1928, they add track. First time women are allowed to run in the Olympics. The longest they're allowed to run is 800 meters, which is about a half mile.
Okay.
After this event happens, they do the 800-meter dash. The women all run, and they look tired at the end of it.
And what conclusion did they draw? I just know it's going to be bullshit. What is it?
All of the reporters who were there threw a fit, and they started publishing headlines around the world that these women were too weak to run this far, and they had clearly damaged their reproductive organs, and this was clearly unseemly, and they looked like they were going to die, and it was making people too uncomfortable, so they banned the 800-meter race from the Olympics for women.
If there was any truth to that, I'd be running right now if my reproductive organs got ruined. Good, get rid of it.
Yeah, I feel that. So they banned it.
Yeah.
Until 1960.
Okay.
So for 32 more years, women are not allowed to run the 800 meters in the Olympics. Women were still running the 800 meters in other women's athletic events, but at the Olympics, strictly
because they don't want other women to get ideas of like, maybe I should work out, maybe I should do this, maybe I should join women's team things and build community.
They don't want to normalize the idea.
This is all to impress us. This has nothing to do with our safety or even being able to birth children, because that's bullshit. They do the same thing in certain like Muslim countries that like heavily oppress women. I forget what country it is, but like they have propaganda of women can't drive because the tech in the car is going to fuck up your reproductive organs. Like, what the fuck kind of bullshit pseudoscience is that? Like,
so she also isn't allowed to be in the car? Like,
no, she just can't drive it because apparently something about driving it, like,
that doesn't make any fucking sense at all.
It doesn't.
The tech in the car is gonna fuck up your shit, but only if you're in the driver's seat?
It's just they don't want women to have independence and be able to drive away from their shit husbands.
That's so fucking stupid. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
This episode's making me angry. It's making me want to just get rid of all the men.
I feel that.
I say all the time, men are lucky. We don't want revenge. We just want equality.
I'm gonna be real. right now, I want revenge.
I do too. I've always wanted it.
I know you did.
I've been angry my whole life about just the world I've been brought up in.
Because it's a bunch of bullshit.
It is. It's awful.
So the other thing that happens after this event, or during this event, actually. So we're in 1928. The women who competed in the 800-meter dash, especially the winners, they are all accused of being men.
Of course.
They are accused of not actually
Of
being
course.
women because the newspapers were writing about them as having, quote, the strength of a halfback, unquote. Literally, these women are just showing up, and because they're athletic, these men are like, no, there's something is wrong. These are not women. These must be men in disguise. So this is basically where the concept of men in disguise comes from.
Yeah.
And it has never gone away, despite the fact, and I want to say this now, and I'm going to repeat it at the end, it has never happened in the history of the Olympics, ever, that a man has disguised himself as a woman.
no
and
man is
tried to
actually
compete in
doing
women's
that.
events.
I remember when the trans and sports bullshit started being a conversation, I kept hearing different podcast bros be like, oh, well, these are just men that weren't good at the men's sports, so now they've decided to transition so they can be. I'm like, no actual man is transitioning to
If
play
that was
sports.
true, point at the example.
Yeah, because that's not true. These are just women that needed their HRT and needed to transition to live as themselves.
But they love telling stories to make themselves seem cool.
And I'm like, okay, let's test that theory out then. Pick a guy that's not good at sports and go, hey, we have a solution for you. Go on estrogen and join women's sports and dominate there. No man is going to do that. No men are actually doing that.
Absolutely
Use
not.
your fucking brain. No one's doing that.
Yeah.
No man is transitioning and giving himself gender dysphoria so he can dominate women's sports.
Yeah. So at this same Olympics in 1928, these women are forced to undergo genital checks to prove that they're women.
Oh no, this is some pervy shit. Some guy came up with this so he could be a perv. And that's what pisses me off about
Probably.
this. Oh, this is making me angry.
Yeah, so this genital check thing starts happening every single time the men who are running the Olympics committee decide that the woman looks too manly.
Yeah.
And this is happening because at the time, men have 3 fears. The first fear is that men are going to pretend to be women to steal medals.
So this goes back.
This goes all the way back. The second fear is that any woman who likes sports isn't actually a woman. And the last fear, and this one is going to crack your head open a little bit, too much exercise will actually turn a woman into a man. This is all based in an old theory called balance theory.
Okay.
They believed that we were all a mixture of male and female. They believed that we were actually born some percentage man and some percentage women. You could be 70%, 30%. They believed in the spectrum.
Yeah, because the spectrum is real and most people fall in the middle of it.
They also believed that you could change your percentages.
Gender fluid people
They
exist.
believed if you were 70% woman, 30% man, if you participated in man things, your man percentage would grow. And if it overtook 50%, you would then simply become a man. And this is called balance theory. So they believed if women are participating in sports, they might just become men. Or they might already be men in disguise, or they might just be fake women. Like they're kind of all over the place in what they believe and what they're afraid of at this time.
And it's funny because if one of those women came out as a trans man, they'd be like, no.
Well, it's so interesting you say that.
You'll always be a woman with your beard and muscles.
It's so interesting you say that because in 1935, one of these athletes transitions to become a man.
Oh, I bet they lost their fucking marbles.
This is a man named Zdeněk Kubek, who had already won medals in women's track, but was now transitioning. These scientists were so excited to accuse him of cheating, and they actually respected his identity as a man. They said he had been a man the whole time and had been cheating and pretending to be a woman so that he could win these medals, and that the transition was just to be more what he always was.
I mean, I feel like he wasn't doing that to win the medals, but like they're kind of onto something with that. This is a man competing in women's sports, and
yes.
he needs to come out and transition so he can compete with the other men.
Right.
So wait, was he annihilating in the women's sports before he
Was,
transitioned?
he was winning all the time.
I am telling you, I wish we would research trans people more, because I really believe even on a biological level and like psychological level, there is a certain level of like a foundation of still being the opposite gender that you were assigned. I really believe that.
This is a trans dude who was crushing every women's event he was in. And this is pre-hormone. They didn't know what a hormone fucking was back then. There was no hormone treatment.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't ever going to take testosterone in 1935, and that had nothing to do. He just had surgery. So this was all the proof the Olympics committee needed to justify their fears that women running in sports would turn them into men. Because some of them were just like, he was a man pretending to be a woman so he could win medals. And some of them were like, no, he was a woman, but running turned him into a man. And it was this crazy period of time where like nobody fucking knew what to do. This also coincides with, in 1936, which is the next year, the host of the Olympics is Nazi Germany. And Nazi Germany specifically was trying to use this Olympics to showcase the strength of white people, the Aryan race. This was like the Olympic, and this is also the Olympics.
Trying to sell eugenics to everyone else.
Yeah.
People are not superior because of their race. It's stupid.
Yes.
There's no evidence to back that up as a theory, because it's not true. It's stupid.
Correct. But there was an official policy, an Olympic policy on the books in 1936 that they will examine the genitals of any suspicious women. If they decide...
This makes me so angry. This is sexual assault. This is...
Yes, it is.
They wanted to be creeps. I don't give a fuck. That was the sole purpose. They wanted to be creeps, and that makes me angry.
Yeah, because obviously there's no women on the Olympics committee.
No, they won't let them in.
No,
they won't let them in.
The first woman wasn't on the committee until 1981.
Yeah.
So obviously these are just men writing the rules, and they're like, we want to look at the vaginas of anyone who we don't believe is a woman.
Yeah.
So, we're going to make her show us her vagina to prove that she's actually a
pieces
woman.
of shit.
If she looks too strong for us, which is probably is just fetish shit.
It is.
They're just like, ooh,
There's an
muscly lady.
There's an entire subcategory. You know, women that do bodybuilding, and they usually take steroids. So steroids, it increases your testosterone, and it makes the clitoris grow very long. And I found out there's an entire like porn category and kink for it, where men are specifically into the large clitoris, muscular women that do bodybuilding.
Just admit that you're gay at that point.
Yeah, it's like, dude, just go.
Just, you're so close.
Yeah, you're almost there,
You're
dude. Just,
so
it is okay to be gay as a man. If men would just be gay.
I'm not gay. I'm only into women with huge clits
Yeah.
who look like they could beat me up. I'm not into dudes though. As soon as
And they've got deeper voices and body hair from the testosterone. Like, dude, it's okay.
As soon as that clit turns into a dick, I'm no longer interested.
Yeah, you're either bisexual or gay, and that is okay.
Get out of town. What
The world's not going
fuck?
to end because you want to suck a tiny dick. It's fine.
Men are fucking cartoon characters.
Mental
I can't deal with
gymnastics.
it.
I hate it.
But yeah, so all the men on the Olympic committee were saying things like, well, people obviously only want to watch feminine women compete. They're not looking to watch these monstrosities. That was their quote. In response to this trans guy, the Olympics committee, or what is now the World Athletics Organization, passes their gender testing policy, which at this point is just the genital check.
Disgusting.
This policy stays on the books for a really long time. Nazi Germany falls in the 40s, right? And the USSR, Russia, did not have these beliefs about women needing to be tiny and dainty and feminine in order to still be women.
That's very Russian.
Right? They were like, what is wrong with strong woman?
Yeah, literally.
We love strong woman. She lived whole
She
car.
survives the blizzards.
She carried the children up the mountain. She have strength to survive winter. Like She can lift submarine off of dead child. She will crush Nazi head between thighs. We love strong women. So,
In Soviet Russia, women beat you.
yes, exactly. So, while the rest of the world is pushing hard on this idea that no, women should not be allowed to participate in sports, women should be small, women should be dainty, women should be unathletic, it's going to hurt their reproductive, it's going to turn them into men. Russia's like, we're going to get strongest woman the world has ever
I believe
fucking
it.
seen.
I believe it. There's some hefty bitches
Yeah.
from Russia, let me tell
And
you.
if their
what.
goal is like, we want to win gold medals, but they're like, women category is very open.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We can win all medals.
They probably got some Russian bitches that'll
Look
dominate
at
the
all
men's.
these tiny women from every other country.
I don't usually agree with Russia's takes on many things, but I'll give them this one.
Yes, they, so every once in a while, a broken clock is right.
Yeah.
So throughout the 1950s, Russia is winning all the gold medals for women's sports.
Of
They
course.
are
Of course.
dominating the field. So this starts to change the policy on women participating in sports globally.
Yeah.
They're also pushing this gender testing policy more, right? In 1960, they pass a new policy. We no longer are going to test just the suspicious women. We're going to test every woman.
Oh, I would stab somebody.
If you want to compete in the women's category,
No.
you have to show us your genitals. This is the policy starting
That's
in
so fucking creepy.
1960. And this is called, the women who participated in the Olympics called this the nude parade. Because literally they would get in a line, they would take their pants off, they would be allowed to participate in the Olympics.
God, I hate men so much.
I know.
Some of those hefty hoes should have beat the shit out of the guys doing the genital checks. It would have put it into it immediately.
Yeah. So what's generally happening around this time? Russia is winning all these gold medals, right, in the 1950s. Health and fitness knowledge is growing. There's a bunch of doctors and scientists saying, well, actually, maybe exercise isn't bad for you. Maybe it's actually necessary for a long and healthy life.
It is.
Maybe if a woman exercises, her babies will be healthier.
Yeah, if it applies to men, it also applies to women. We're not that much physically different as they want us to believe.
We're more alike than we do different.
Yeah, that's why trans people freak them out, because it's like, oh, you started off physically this way and now you're the opposite. How? That's they want to dead that shit.
Because I changed like 1% of myself.
Literally,
whoa.
literally, it's so stupid, and they don't want us to know.
So also what's happening is because World War II has severely weakened Europe, the southern hemisphere of the earth is getting decolonized. African countries, South American countries are no longer feeling the grasp of England's empire.
Yeah,
So they start to fight and gain their own independence.
good.
And once they have independence, they want to make it known they want to enter the world stage. So they start sending women to the Olympics. And their women don't look like the European women.
No.
So now all of a sudden we have athletes from around the world who quote unquote look more masculine according to a European view.
Yeah.
Also, performance enhancing drugs are invented. And the United States is like, well, we need to be able to compete with Russia in all things.
Yeah.
Right? We can't fall behind in anything. So they start really pushing this housewife fitness culture. This is where the Jane Fonda workout home videos start to come in.
Because they don't want us to not be housewives, but they do want us to
Right.
compete in the Olympics.
Yes.
It's all contradictory.
So they start putting workout videos on TV for housewives to
That's
do.
where
They
that comes from.
Yes, because they're literally trying to beat Russia. So like we need our women to be a little more athletic, actually, maybe, because we are losing all the time, and all their beefy women that we think are men are passing our genital test, which is the only way we know how to test for whether or not you're a man or a woman.
It's funny because I'm thinking of the timeline we're going over. Women have gotten more muscular, taller, more athletic looking, even in the last 50, 60 years, and it's all tied to this
It is
shit.
literally all tied to global politics.
And sports as well.
Global politics and sports, they're so intertwined, it's impossible to take them apart.
Oh my God.
It's crazy. I was reading this stuff and I was just making so many
This
connections.
is the thing. Even in the last 15 years, we're in the age of ass. It's thick bitches now. Like, girls started lifting weights in the gym. Like, all through my 20s, I was lifting heavy weights in the gym because I wanted to have some ass on me and I wanted to be strong enough to climb the pole at work. Like, you know what I mean? And that's been popularized. They're trying to push it back now where, like, thin is in and blah, 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 and skin. And, like, women are like, no.
Yeah. No, sorry. I like being in shape.
Yeah, the door is open already. Suck my dick.
Yeah. I've spent a lot of time in the gym and I really like it. I'm not going to get thin again for you.
Yeah, no.
Fuck off.
Yeah, and if you try to hit me or rape me, I'm going to beat your ass.
Yep.
Damn.
So now, even though the German Nazis have been defeated, what's not talked about as often is the fact that a lot of the European countries agreed with a lot of their ideas, especially the upper class white elites
Yeah, of
like
course.
France, England, like all the nearby countries all pretty much agreed
'Cause they have
with
the same
white supremacy bullshit.
They have the same foundation.
Yes, with the male and female like needing to be separate. They were
Women should be
sharing
weaker.
these ideas.
And also, people of color and anyone of a darker complexion
Yes.
is less than. Yeah.
The only thing Germany did differently that pissed everyone else off and made them want to fight them was invade Poland. As soon as they attacked a country that wasn't just them doing their own shit, suddenly there was war. But because of these white men, the Nazis fell. The ideology did not,
Oh, no.
which is why the International Olympics Committee is still enforcing these very strict gender rules. The nude parade was very unpopular.
Yeah, I bet.
It only lasted 2 Olympicses.
Still too long.
Yeah, I agree. 1960 and 1962. So when they got rid of the nude parade, they didn't get rid of the genital tests. They just got rid of it for everyone. They were like, we retain the right to pull anyone aside that we want to if we have any reason to doubt.
Which is code for if I think that bitch is hot, I want to look at her pussy just because.
Hot or too masculine.
yeah.
Either way.
Which
yes.
can be both for
Yes,
them. This feels like it was some weird fetish thing for them. It pisses me
Yes.
off. I hope all these men rot and piss for eternity. Like, God, it makes me so angry.
So then something happens in 1967, and we get the first ever way to genetically test for gender. It is not accurate, and I think
course
you'll
not.
know that as soon
Yeah.
as I say this, but a man named Murray Barr discovered something called Barr bodies when he was researching cat DNA. He was looking at cat cells, and he noticed that in female cats, there was a dark spot in the middle of the cell, and in male cats, there wasn't.
Okay.
What we eventually learned, and didn't know yet, was that this little dot was what happened when you had an unnecessary second X chromosome.
Oh, so it was an intersex thing.
It wasn't
no?
an intersex. It was literally just the cat only needs one X chromosome. So if it had 2, it would just turn one off. The black spot was the
second
X
X
chromosome
chromosome.
being turned off.
So it was just a cat with 2X instead of 1.
Well, we all, if you're female, you know, you
Oh,
have
I
2X chromosomes.
I thought you were implying that female cats only have 1X.
Anybody only actually needs one X chromosome. If that wasn't true, men would all die.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, or XY people
That makes sense. Okay.
would all die.
I see what you're saying.
So if
yeah.
you have 2 X chromosomes, you'll get some genes from both of them, but the second one, the specific chromosome, isn't necessary, so it will just turn off.
Okay, I see.
And I don't think that's unanimously true, which is again why this is not good science.
Yeah,
Because sometimes it won't turn off.
yeah.
Sometimes it will.
So it's not a
Sometimes
good way to determine.
But
Yeah.
because this was the Olympics committee read about these what are called Barr bodies, which is the little dot showing up, and they were like, "Oh, our problems are solved." And they immediately instituted a policy. Every woman who competes in the Olympics will do a cheek swab. And we will look at her genes under a microscope, and we will test to make sure she is actually a woman.
It's crazy the fucking hoops they're jumping through to keep us oppressed.
Yes.
We're going to only
Yes.
test women's sports. You have to prove you're a woman.
Yes. There are no tests for men.
And this is why the trans argument is stupid, because, yeah, it's going to start with trans women, and they're going to do it to cis women as well. This oppresses all women.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
So they
It's a
institute
dumb
this
thing.
test. As you can guess, immediately, cis women who are maybe intersex or have a DSD, difference of sex
Yeah.
development, are disqualified from competing.
Which is bullshit.
Immediately. People who are like, no, I promise I'm a woman, are like, well, Your cheek swab says
And then
you're
what
not.
about intersex men?
And what about intersex men?
Why aren't we policing them being in sports?
What a phenomenal question.
This
that
isn't
there's
about
no
keeping
answer
women
for.
safe. It's about not wanting women to be as good.
That is correct. It always was. It always, from the very start, that's why I'm telling the story this way, right? Is so you can see that it starts with fear of women having too much power, needing to control them, fear of the indigenous people you're trying to colonize.
Yeah, it's trying to keep everybody down.
It's literally like we just can't have women being strong.
Yeah, because that's half the population.
We have to create this lie that they're inherently weaker.
Yeah.
And then we have to create a society that forces them to be weaker, or else we won't sleep with them or give them money or provide any safety for them and they'll die. And then we'll punish them if they ever get strong. And it's just all these rules they keep layering on top and on top and on top to enforce this incredibly strict definition of womanhood, all of which was decided by men. And all of those men were basically Nazis.
Yeah, this makes me so angry.
Nazi Germany was just like almost the end point, a natural end point of a belief system that had been carried out for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
It's like if you need to believe these things about men and women, if you need to believe things about race, and if you believe those things for long enough, eventually you end up with a party that devotes itself to enforcing those things.
This is making me want to get back into like watching sports, playing sports, because now I feel
I've never wanted to play sports more in my life.
I know. And this is the thing, because my mom pushed me so hard. And this is the thing, I have my beef with my mom, but there are things I empathize with her on, because she was born in a time where there was no path for her. She was amazing at what she did. She paved ways for women in the future. She did a lot, and there was nothing else for her at the end of it because of where society was with women in sports.
Yep.
And my mom ended up birthing me, which kind of wish that didn't happen sometimes, but
Well, I'm glad you exist.
I'm glad somebody does. I'm on my period too. I'm a little depresso.
Yes.
But
sure
this
that's part
also,
of
it just makes me so angry, because it's like, that was a big reason I didn't care about sports either, because it was like, it was never taken seriously. Anytime I said I did it, I was laughed at by men. And when I looked into it, it was like, I'm not going to make enough money to really live a fun life doing this. Why would I work hard at this? I like making art better anyways. Mm-hmm. Women are robbed of so much.
Yep.
We are robbed of so much.
So after they institute this cheek swab, this was the policy from 1968 to 1999.
Okay.
So for 30 plus years,
Okay.
up until even our lifetimes, this is how they're checking to make sure women are allowed to compete in the Olympics. And if you passed the test, if they checked and verified that you're a woman, they literally gave you a little business card that said Certificate of Femininity. And you would have to carry it around. And if you didn't have it on you, you wouldn't be allowed to be in your event. They had to literally were card-carrying females. During this whole 30-year span, the Barr scientist, Murray Barr, is screaming, hey, this is an oversimplification. This is not what I said. This is not how you're supposed to use this. I simply discovered a thing. Genes are more complicated than that.
Yeah.
Please get rid of your policy. What's wrong with you? Scientists around the entire globe are screaming at the Olympics Committee. You're doing it wrong. This is not how science works. Please let these women compete.
This is the thing too. We infantilize women so much, and it's irritating because it's like, we're not children. I know you'd love for us to be children because you're all attracted to children. I think that in the back of their mind, they know if they just let us do our thing with sports and anything really, we would get on their level and also in a lot of categories outperform them. And they don't want that. Men are weak creatures that want to maintain their power.
Yep.
By pushing everyone else down and making sure they can't get as good.
Yeah. So 1972 is 4 years after the fact. There's been enough push in the United States that women want to play sports, women want to compete. America's trying to figure out, how do we continue competing on the world stage, blah, blah, blah. They passed Title IX. Do you know about Title IX?
I don't think so.
Title IX was a part of the Education Act at the time.
Okay.
Title IX specifically says, and I'm just going to read it verbatim, no person in the U.S. shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any educational program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. Which basically means if a program is funded by the government, you have to let women have equal participation.
Yeah, absolutely.
So all of a sudden, because prior to 1972, there were basically no women's sports in high schools, colleges, middle schools, any federally funded thing in the country.
This was right before my mom got in high school too. So my mom
Yes.
existed at
She
the perfect time for
benefited
her to do what she did in
at
softball.
the exact right time. 1972, all of a sudden, every school that has a men's sports program has to start a women's version. So across the country, immediately, every single school, every organization that exists, anything that's getting federal funding on any level, has to create an equal woman's version of it, the thing. Prior to this happening, only 1 out of every 27 girls played a sport. After this passed, 2 out of every 5 girls played a sport. It went from less than 4% of girls
Yeah.
to more than 40% of girls. Almost overnight.
Yeah, I believe it because I'm sure a lot of girls wanted to do it and they were being denied that.
And because all of a sudden women are allowed to participate, America starts winning Olympic medals.
Yep.
Because America starts winning Olympic medals after passing this law, every other country in the world takes notice and they start passing laws saying women should gain more rights. Women should be allowed to play sports.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
If
there's
you
this
let
big
women
push.
do stuff, we contribute
Yes.
more than the men most of the time.
And all of this is a direct fallout from the Cold War. If we weren't having the Cold War, if we weren't competing with Russia in all things, none of this shit would have happened. If Russia weren't dominating the Olympics, women would not be playing
you know
sports
what?
today.
I never thought I'd say this out loud in this day and age, but hats off to Russia for
We like big, beefy women over here in Russia.
America.
No homosexuals. No homosexuals.
No homosexuals.
But big, strong, muscly women we like. But yeah, so like literally, women's rights, women's access to sports gains tremendous
It
popularity.
was all because men wanted to compete with Russia in our country.
Because we're falling behind Russia. They got to space before we did.
This is just the natural order of things. Men's power position, it's going under.
Absolutely.
I think we'll see it in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Completely, just because it's falling apart because that's the weak point is they're so obsessed with competition they accidentally gave us all of our rights. And now, decades later, we're in competition with the men and they are not liking it.
That facts.
There's no going back though. What are you going to do?
So jump forward to 1999, right? This is when they finally get rid of the chromosome test rule because the scientists have finally convinced people with enough, like in the 90s is when we actually map the DNA sequence. Our genetic knowledge gains tremendously throughout the 90s.
Yeah, I remember learning this from you.
So by the end of the 90s, they have proven that there's a million different combinations of chromosomes.
And we
right?
don't even know all of them.
And we don't even know them all
we
yet.
don't
They're
even-
like, look, you can't just base it on XXXY. It just doesn't work that way.
There's too many variations.
So in 1999, they finally get rid of the policy. And in 2000, we have the first Olympics where there is no test required unless the Olympics Committee deems that it's necessary, which again, anytime a woman looks too masculine.
Or right now with trans people and what we're doing
Or
with
right
them.
now with trans people. So we had a nice little 9-year period where there was no mandatory testing from 2000 to 2009. But in 2009, we have a woman from South Africa named Caster Semenya.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of Caster Semenya?
I don't think so.
This is a woman who has a difference of sex development where she has internal testes.
Is she a runner or
She is
something
a
in
runner.
track? I did hear about this
Yes.
girl. Yeah.
But she's like, I'm a woman. I've been a woman my whole life.
Yeah.
I don't feel like a man. I'm just,
Men are allowed to have genetic advantages. Why can't women?
why can't women?
Because then women would compete harder and then we'd get better in sports. And men don't want that because they want to be better than us.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
But
God.
so now there is this quote unquote masculine looking woman who is black, who is crushing the whole world at running. She is literally killing it, right? not literally. She's not killing anybody. But,
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying. She's
Yeah.
crushing. She's
Yeah.
absolutely annihilating.
Yeah.
Privately, none of this is like on the books policy, but I listened to a podcast about this. The IOC has a private meeting with her and says, look, if you want to continue running, you have to have surgery. You have to get your internal testes.
Who's forcing surgeries on who now?
You must get your testes removed from inside your body.
If you're a man listening to this, I want you to think of this. You're in gymnastics and they decide your hormones aren't fit for gymnastics. They make you get a castration of your balls. The Olympics make you cut your balls off so you can compete in gymnastics. To make it more level for all the... Imagine someone did that to you and made you make that choice.
That is literally what they're asking.
That is what they're
her.
doing to women.
You literally have to get a surgery or you're not allowed to do the thing that you've spent your whole life on. Yeah, that's the choice that they offer
That
her.
is insane.
She says, go fuck
you.
yourself.
Good for her. That's a bad bitch.
She says,
fuck yeah.
No,
Yeah.
God made me this way. Why would I get surgery?
Suck my dick.
Yeah.
Or my testes.
She specifically said something along the lines of like, give the surgery to your mothers.
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
Give the surgery to yourself.
Yeah. They came back and they were like, okay. You don't have to have the surgery. You do have to lower your testosterone levels. So
This is the shit that pisses me off.
This is where they invented the concept of T suppression with no evidence that it would actually do anything.
This
so
makes
they
me
decide
so mad.
Caster Semenya alone. They don't. This isn't an official policy. They don't tell anyone that this is what's happening. They just have a private agreement. The International Olympics Committee and Caster Semenya. If you can get your testosterone down, we will privately monitor it and allow you to compete in the next Olympics. So nobody knows what's happened.
So now they're still forcing her to go on HRT.
They forced her to go on HRT.
That's
Correct.
sick.
And
That's,
she has described the experience of going on HRT as miserable.
yeah.
She said she was feeling depressed all the time. She was having hot flashes. She was basically going through menopause. Like
Yeah.
it was just
Because her body's naturally,
yes.
she didn't need
Her
it.
body was already
she
imbalanced.
She didn't need it.
She was good to go.
Who cares? Let her annihilate.
But she does it and she competes in the next Olympics. Around the world, people are watching it going, why is she still allowed to compete? She's still crushing. She didn't slow down.
They didn't want everyone to know what they made her do.
They didn't tell anyone. They did not tell anyone. They just forced her to do it, and then she came back and she still won every event.
Yeah.
She still it didn't slow her down at all.
Yeah.
Because the testosterone had no impact.
Because she has the skill set she worked very hard for.
Yes.
You would think that's common sense.
The
Sometimes women are
testosterone
good at things, you fucking ignorant
had
pricks.
no impact on her
Sometimes
running
women are good at
ability.
things.
Yes.
Huh. What a concept. God.
So even though this policy or this private agreement had no impact on her ability, on anything, they made it an official policy.
Oh, God.
In 2011, they passed a rule that all female athletes have to prove that their testosterone levels are below 10 nanomoles per liter in order to compete. And they're not testing everyone. They're just testing anyone that they decide looks too masculine, which tends to be the black and brown women from the global south.
Because it doesn't fit into the European beauty standard, which is also
Yes.
a tool to oppress us.
And so we still have largely petite white women complaining they have a disadvantage in these sports
Of course.
against these cultures.
Because they have generations of being born to weak women that have subscribed to these beauty standards that have made them frail and malnourished.
Yes.
Who would have thought?
So here's the thing. They do have a disadvantage in sports. These petite white ladies,
yeah.
they
maybe
do.
hit the gym, bitch.
They do
maybe
have a
fucking
disadvantage
train
in
harder.
sports. But it is not the fault of the women who have the advantage.
Yeah.
It is the fault of the men who suppressed you for hundreds of years and kept you small and didn't let you
Because they
participate.
said you were worthless if they didn't want to fuck you because you didn't look like a child.
Yes.
This is pissing me off so bad, bitch. I did not think this is where this was going to go.
Look,
Every time I see Riley Gaines, that's what I think. I'm like, you're not a good swimmer.
Yeah.
You tied with this bitch.
You're just mad.
She wasn't even that good
Yes.
of a swimmer. You tied with her, and if you
You're
look
mad at the wrong people.
and she's exactly the demographic of
You're
women.
mad at the wrong people.
Yeah.
You're mad at
It's
black
men.
people, and you're mad at your co-athletes.
You're mad at other women.
Supposed to be
You're
mad.
mad at other women that you don't want to believe are other women. It makes me mad because, and this is why white bitches piss me off. And I can say that I'm white, but also it's a very specific brand of white women. It's usually blonde hair, blue eyes, cis, heterosexual, because they benefit the most from this out of all of the women. They're not the white men that are running everything, but they're in proximity. They want to be mediocre and fit this beauty standard so they can get their power from their men while also pointing the finger at you can't be like, bitch.
Yeah.
You're not going to be ugly if you get some muscles to you. I promise. If anything, you'll be more popular. It's in now to be a thick bitch. Like, and you'll be better at your sport and you won't be crying about the trans girl that tied with you.
Yeah.
But they all have that look. It's all the blonde hair, blue eye. They all look the same.
Yeah. To wrap this story up, we're very close to the end. There's an Indian woman, and I didn't write down her name, but she is also told that she's too beefy and she is going to have to suppress her testosterone. She challenges this in the court of the Olympics, which is not a real court. It's basically just a committee or whatever. She's like, that's bullshit. I don't want to do it.
Yeah. Good for her.
She wins.
Good.
So there's a brief period of time from like 2015 to 2017, I think were the years, where they get rid of the testosterone thing. But the decision by the council is not the gender testing is going to stop. It is the gender testing has to stop until you can prove that there is merit to it.
Yeah. And there's not.
They basically said you have 2 years. They said this to the Olympics committee, to the white men running the Olympics committee. You have 2 years to go find the evidence to prove that you're allowed to do this testing. And if you can go find any evidence.
So what did they do?
So they went and fabricated some evidence.
Of course they did.
All the stuff that they researched and the stuff that they found and the stuff that they made up and all the reasons that their science is bullshit. I've covered all of that in our Trans Women in Sports episode.
Yes, but the fucking...
So if you want to hear that part of the story, I'm not going to tell it again today. Go listen to our Trans Women in Sports episode.
The study we cited for that too, it got taken down by that website after Trump got into office. So
I know.
they're erasing as much
I
of
know.
this information
They're
as possible.
deleting it, but
They're
it's-
fighting so hard for us to not know the truth. But I feel like I look like Alex Jones now.
just that for that one little period.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. I feel like a crazy person.
Yeah, it is. It's fucking crazy.
I feel like
It's
I'm the
absolutely
reverse
crazy.
Alex Jones right now. But they took down that study
Yeah. No, they did.
after Trump got
I know.
into
I tried to
office.
find it too. It didn't exist
But
anymore.
the study basically just proved that
their evidence was made up.
Yeah.
It was literally a study pointing out the flaws in their study.
yeah.
And they took it down
Yep.
so that they could institute this policy. And the thing is, the policy, not only has it not gone away, it has gotten stricter. So it started at 10 nanomoles per liter, right? The next time they passed the policy, it was 5. And the next time they passed it, it's 2.5. Right now, for the next Olympics, if a woman has T above 2.5 nanomoles per liter, she's not allowed to compete. The woman who I told you, the first woman to ever be in charge of the IOC, she was voted in last year. Her number one mission is 0 trans women are allowed to compete.
Of course, she's one of those.
She said 0 trans women are allowed to compete, but we will make some minor exceptions for women with a DSD if they keep their T below 2.5. So this is a woman. She is a white woman
Of course.
from
She is.
Zimbabwe. So she is a colonizer woman.
Yeah.
Who was put in charge probably by some European, some British person a long time ago when they took over the fucking place.
Yeah.
But she is a massive transphobe, which is why she was chosen to be the head of the committee.
A transphobe, likely a racist as well.
She is indeed.
Pick me ass, fucking weak
That is
ass
correct.
bitch.
So
if
it
you're
was-
watching this, she's not watching this, but if you are, fuck you. Oh, this makes me so mad.
So her name is Kirsty Coventry.
Okay.
Basically, when the last man was stepping down, because the IOC was starting to get a lot of flack from trans people from intersex people.
Yeah.
And they realized that they'd never had a woman president of their committee. So their goal
So they appointed the
was
white
to
picket cleavage
choose
that will continue their
the
bullshit.
most transphobic woman they could possibly
Representation
find.
matters. That's why, like, I'm not saying, because there are white women that have the right idea and understand to be inclusive of other demographics of women. But I don't trust whenever I watch any content from like a white woman's perspective, I'm always wary going into it because I'm like, is this white feminism or are you actually with the shit and understand and this is for all women? Like, and a lot of white women like to uphold their shit because they're just like the men. They don't want to let go of their little piece of power. And really, what power do you have? They still see you as less than.
Yeah,
you
still
look
property.
like a weak ass bitch.
You're still
They want you to be a dainty
nothing
little
but property to them.
Yeah,
You're
sexual
a little baby
object.
factory.
Yeah,
You're
little
the fucking Handmaid's
Yeah,
Tale.
they're fuck toy and they're fucking baby machine. That's all you are to them.
Yeah.
You fucking dumb bitch.
You're the one who's going to raise their kids so they can do whatever the fuck they want and not have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, like, especially internationally, not so much in America right now, but internationally, women's sports have actually started to be on the rise because there has been more of a push towards treating it equally.
Yeah.
And if you advertise it, if you put it on TV, if you actually just treat it like it's exciting, people show up.
Yeah.
If you tell the stories of the players the same way you do about the male players, like she
Yeah.
came from nothing, now she's here, you know, if you actually
It's
do
just
that,
as entertaining.
people
And if
show
you,
up.
And if you give it time and let the women train really hard and get good at what they do,
Yes.
it will be just as physically entertaining as well.
I have big question marks about what the fuck's going to happen for women's sports in the United States because I have big question marks about the United States, period.
I want California to be its own country. I want
I
us
hope
to be
so.
the United State of California. You know what? Oregon and Washington can come with, but like,
The United State of California.
yes. Yes.
Okay. There's a percentage of my brain that's like, does any of this story fucking matter right now if we're about to have World War III? But like, maybe we will survive.
It does. We will.
Maybe we will survive.
We
and
will.
if we do, it is important that this story exists.
Yes.
That there is a record of it somewhere, that we don't fucking need to do this man bullshit anymore.
No.
Patriarchy is the only reason that you don't care about women's sports.
Yes.
The only one, and it
And white
always
supremacy.
has been. And white
white
supremacy.
supremacy.
Yes. But
White
patriarchy
supremacy.
and white supremacy go hand in
Yep.
hand, you know? So, and it's also worth just reminding you, 0 trans women have ever won an Olympic medal. It's never happened.
Yeah.
Just a little, you know, fun fact for you.
And even if they did, good for them. Who cares?
Right. But yeah, that's what I got for the history of women's sports. I went down some little rabbit holes I wasn't expecting. I uncovered some truths I wasn't expecting to encounter.
Yeah.
Like the fact that women wouldn't play sports in this country if Russia hadn't
I
fucking
know,
won the
that
Olympics
really blew
so
my
hard in
mind.
the 1950s. Or like that shit's okay. What's your favorite thing you learned today, and what's your angriest thing?
They were all angry things, I think. I think it was partially the way I was raised, because I was raised by a mother who is, you know, she's physically stronger. She's not a dainty little thing, never claimed to be, wasn't raised that way. She's a country ass bitch. And I was raised in a household. It's one of the few things I'll give my parents. I was raised in a household where me and my sister were taught that we could do anything. We were just as capable. And the world was going to treat us like shit for it because we're women. And just any time I hear this, it goes against everything I was taught. But like our system is just goes against everything I was taught about myself as a woman. Our entire society.
Yeah.
And I know the truth. Mm-hmm. My mom broke world records doing her shit in sports. My mom was a badass bitch before she just got in the nick of time, like as they were allowed to even have
Literally
a World Series for women in softball.
Yeah. If
like,
she was born 5 years earlier,
nothing
wouldn't have been allowed.
No, and it's like, and even what she did was amazing for the time. And it's like there's like we've paved so much more path in like current times, but it's like they're trying to suppress it super hard right now because this is about it for them. The world we live in is going to look very different, and I think it's for the best. But we got to get through this rocky ass road and fight. We have to keep fighting. Women's rights are rights for everybody.
Facts.
People of color's rights, it's equal rights for everybody. Gay rights, all trans rights,
Because
it's
every one
equality
of-
for everyone. It works better for everyone. These men that don't want it, they think it would make them happier for everyone to be oppressed, but they'd be just as fine. They wouldn't be forced into rules that they think they have to do because they're a white man, you know? They might like pick up art or something else even.
Yes.
People would have more options and freedom to be themselves if we stop trying to put people in boxes and prevent them from growing.
Every man on this planet that is causing all the biggest problems is like over the age of 70. We are witnessing extinction burst.
Yes, and I can't wait for all the boomers to die.
I'm so ready.
The boomers are so pathetic. Like you guys grew up in a time where there were so many possibilities for you, and you've tried to take it away for the younger generation because you're all a bunch of narcissists.
Yeah.
When all of the boomers are gone, we're gonna be happy.
We're going to fix
How does that make you feel
everything.
that the youth that you raised,
Hate you
when you're
so
dead,
much.
will cheer
We're
and
gonna
be
have a
happy?
party.
Will
Yeah.
feel relief. How sad is that? Really ask yourself that. What kind of world were you trying to leave behind for us?
I'm ready for the new one. I'm ready for matriarchy. I'm
Yeah,
ready
me
for women's sports to be bigger than men's sports.
I'm ready to talk about
ready-
fun shit that isn't exhausting and doesn't make me mad.
And hopefully, I just hope one fucking person watches this and realizes that all of this gender testing bullshit
It doesn't help anybody.
It came from.
It's invasive. It's
a way-
wrong.
It's literally always just been a way for men to keep women down.
Yeah.
That's all it's ever
It's to
been.
infantilize us because you're not really a woman if you're strong and can do something.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Sorry I was so angry.
It's
My genitals are bleeding. This was a heavy topic.
It's pretty valid to be angry. As the more research I did, the angrier I got. Well, if you would like to talk about any of this, or just tell us we did a great job, or if you are an expert in one of these fields, or know like a very phenomenal fact about something we talked about, hit us up.
Yep,
Send
shoot
us
us
an
an
email. ladyandthetranspodcast@gmail.com. Hit us up on socials. We want to hear from you. Leave us a
Yeah.
review. Like,
subscribe, comment if you're on YouTube.
Yep.
If you're listening to just audio, follow us on that platform.
Follow us. Leave us a review on the platform. It helps
Yeah.
us. It helps people find our shit. I know that it still works that way, even though whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has been Lady and the Trans. I've been Chloe,
And I've been Laura.
and we'll catch you later.
Next time. Bye.
Yeah.
Lady and the Trans Podcast. Where we believe in science. We don't believe in God. Only science.